Stuart, I have a question, Bob Sink.
Yes, Bob.
Could you talk about the in our inner work, the need for rest in both physically and spiritually?
Well, I don't think there's anybody around here better who can talk about that. You know, I mean, look, look, you know, we have to rest. We have to sleep at night. We have to, let the body, the mind, everything rest. And it's the same thing in this inner work. I mean, you don't do this work 12 hours a day. An hour, 20 minutes in the morning, a meditation class, it's sufficient. And then you let your system, the chakra system, absorb the work for the rest of the day. But I can tell you, look, it's funny that you're bringing that up because I've been doing this 2.5 years now, and I can admit I'm really tired. I'm really, really tired inside. And I don't want to be tired, and I want every class to be really fresh, and alive and completely. But I must admit, this is very hard work. I've been doing this literally, 7 to 12 classes a week for 2.5 years now on Zoom. And yes, it's hard work. And I am tired, I must admit. I'm going to have to take a rest. I'm probably going to have to take a vacation soon, in order to come back here fresh and do the right service to this meditation practice. But yes, we need to rest. We need to, the work can't be fanatical. You can't sit out and do this meditation for 12 hours and think that you're going to give yourself anything other than a spiritual hernia. We need to rest. We need to absorb the energy. We need to allow the energy to become part of our system inside. And, I don't know what else to say about it. Body gets tired, you go to sleep. You have to rest your internal life also. And it's not even resting it just gives the energy a chance to absorb inside. I know I'm going to have to do that soon because I'm going to have to take a week, 10 days, 2 weeks. And I don't know, just take a vacation, go somewhere exotic. So, it's interesting that you brought that situation up because I've been feeling that the last few days. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You stretch, you open, you grow inside. The system, is expanding. The muscles, the chakras are really just psychic muscles. They're expanding, they're growing. They also need to rest for a bit. So, I suggest don't sit down and do this meditation 20 hours a day. You're not going to do yourself any service. Half hour in the morning, in the evening, they come to classes, and then give yourself during the day time to absorb the changes, the energy, what has taken place inside you. So it's important to get that rest. We need periods to work, periods to rest. We need all of that stuff, It's all part of living consciously. I always thank God that I didn't have to sit here for 12 hours and do this meditation. You do Zazen and they have, retreats where you do nothing but sit for 12 hours and meditate. If you move a finger, they smack you across the head. It's training. They call it training. I thank God that we don't need to be trained that way. I'm not putting people down for doing it. I respect them for being able to do that kind of thing. But it's not essential if you do this meditation. You sit down and do one of these classes, you'll get energy for a week. If you really do it, you're centered, you're taking in the Shakti, the energy, the power of the class, you'll get energy. It'll last you for a week, maybe more. My computer's also still bouncing around here, Does anyone else have a question they would like?
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome, Bob.
Hi, Stuart. It's Paula.
Yes, Paula.
I do hope you honor your body and yourself and take a good, well-deserved rest. So I do hope you do that soon. My question was, could you talk about the transformation that happens to the hara? Sometimes, like today, I feel it like a living thing, like almost moving. Could you talk about the transformation that it goes through this practice?
Well, the biggest transformation is a system that is out of balance, a system that spends most of the time in the head, involved in all this mental activity and conflicting thoughts and tension and emotions, etc. And then all of a sudden, you are building a foundation inside yourself that not only allows the hara to undergo transformation, but your whole system undergoes a transformation. The chaos begins to vanish. All of that internal tension and that endless conflict of mind yakking away. And I'm sure everybody knows that, it begins to disappear. There's quiet, there's kind of an inner peace inside a human being. So the hara undergoes transformation. You are building it, strengthening it, transforming it into the base of your life, the core energy of your life. That enables the rest of the system to undergo a transformation. It enables the heart to open, the mind to be quiet, energy to move through the sex. Now, these are places, the heart, the mind, the sexual energy, that really create kind of an internal insane asylum, in people. So much tension from those areas. When those areas, you begin to use those powerful energies like emotion and, the mind and sexual energy, you begin to use them consciously. What is ripping us apart inside begins to give us life. So, building the hara, it transforms itself. It's like trying to, you build a pyramid from the top up. That's how people live. And it wobbles, it's not going to stand up. So you turn it around and you build it from the base up, and you have this incredible power. It's an incredible power that is receiving the energy of God. I've sat in front of pyramids and they're extraordinary. In Egypt, they're extraordinary. They're just like gigantic stupas, that just they're energy receptors. Well, we are the same way, but people build themselves from the top up. You understand? The mind is heavy, it's overactive. The base is not strong enough to deal with it. So you have all this insanity that runs rampant in the world. So what we're trying to do is build it from the base up. The third eye is it's on top of us, not So, I mean, that's really what happens. So building the foundation, transforms the very core of your inner being from generally an area of weakness to an area of incredible vitality and incredible strength. That enables the rest of the pyramid to be constructed inside. And the major points in that period: sexual energy, the heart chakra, third eye, the crown chakra. But none of that can be built if standing on your head.
Thank you so much, Stuart. And when we bring the energy back up, do we bring it to the third eye or to the crown?
To the crown.
To the crown, thank you.
It opens the crown, and then energy, Shakti, comes in, and it goes into the third eye and the whole chakra system. I hope this is clear, because so much of this world is constructed ass backwards. People spend almost all their time thinking. I mean, I remember when I lived in Manhattan, and I used to stop on the street occasionally and just watch people. 99% of the people that walk past were thinking, daydreaming in their heads, and you can see the weakness in them, how the mind was consuming them, literally consuming them. And there was no core, there was no foundation. And occasionally you'll see somebody, generally they were a martial artist, they're walking around, with the chi, the power in that third chakra, but very rare. Most ordinary people are just, their lives are built ass backwards. They spend all their time in their heads. And you can't even blame them. They don't know an alternative. They really don't. So you can't blame them. You can't be upset at them. And no matter what they do, you can't blame them. They don't know the difference. They haven't found the need inside themselves to have a spiritual life and to get training in the development of a system inside that, we don't live ass backwards. So the whole secret in all of this is building the hara, getting free of the mind, getting there's an inner peace. You quiet the mind, you'll have inner peace. Quiet the emotions, you'll have inner peace. Quiet your sexual energy, you'll have inner peace. But the pyramid has to build, the base has to be enormous, and then you come up to the third eye, top of the pyramid, top of the stupa. Does anyone else have a question? I mean, I don't know, it's not going to be my job to change the world. I mean, look, I learned all of this stuff. I do all of this stuff. It enables me to live my life, But, I don't remember Rudy having crowds of people. I've never had crowds of people wanting to learn this, which is all right. People have to be ready for it, And anyway, how can you teach 1,000 people in one of these Zoom? It'd be impossible. They would run away probably. Does anyone else have a question? Would like to? Okay, if there are no more questions, then there'll be meditation on Sunday. God bless you all and thank you. And
Thank you, Stuart.
I'm not going on vacation yet. Well, I will be there on Sunday. So I hope to see you all then. And God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend. And thank you.
Thank
you,
Stuart.
you too, Stuart.
Stuart.
Good night.